This podcast is an attempt to understand the role and the position of China in the Security Council. We have to study the historical substrate to understand what is going on right now. In reality, many countries are asking why we have China in the Security Council. And the reason, in fact, is not so obvious because we know that China is right now a communist country, but at that time it wasn't. In reality, the explanation comes from the war, the Second War between China and Japan. So this war started in 1937 and ended in 1945 with the help of the US. So the reason was the following thing. In the first war between China and Japan, the victory was Japanese. And it was a clear difference about the modernization of the society and, of course, the weapons. So the Qing dynasty of China was behind, far behind. So the Japanese get a victory in a rather simple way. After that, we have other problems. I don't want to analyze them right now, but maybe in another podcast. And we have the second war between those countries. So the idea was the following. The Japanese victory, at least the first years, was a fact. And the big difference was made only after the attack of Pearl Harbor. Of course, before the Soviet Union and even the US were helping China, but not at this level. After Pearl Harbor, everything changed. So the idea was to recognize China as one of the big four allies. It was a way to show that they prefer China to Japan, and it was a way also to create the Security Council. But at that time, China was nationalist, wasn't communist. In fact, the decision was made many years after, in the 70s, to recognize officially the new China as the successor of the previous one. So now we have a Security Council with China, not because it was in the same way at the beginning, but it was a change. So we have to keep in mind that without the war between the Second War, between China and Japan, China wouldn't be in the Security Council. So the idea is now, when we are talking about change in the future, especially for the permanent members, we are talking especially for India, Brazil, or even Japan. We have to keep in mind this historical explanation to know what to do in the future.